Hello, welcome to another episode of Echoes of Victory with Awerobillions. Today, with me on the show is Dr. Ibilade Joel Adesokan, the chairman of INTO Groups. The group started with INTO tutors and has metamorphosized into a chain of business. INTO University, INTO Migration, Washer Girl, Future Wave, INTO Realtors, Providence Point Consulting, and many more. Is choosing not to talk about the others today. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so very much, Awerobillions. It's so nice to be in your show today.
Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. I'm honored to be here.
Can you tell us how this big dream, this huge dream started?
Thank you so very much for that question. Well, the whole journey began out of hunger and thirst to ensure that the dreams, what I see, come true. As usual, we all came from humble background, but there is more deeper hunger. When I see people around me that suffers because of little things, I get so worried. I've seen a lot of destinies being crumbled because of little, when I mean little things. And I've been victims of so many of such. So growing up, seeing those things, as little as when we were in school, and then you see some children wearing KITO. There's one popular school standard they call KITO.
I wore it.
You wore it.
Yeah.
See, at that time growing up, I get worried that this life is not balanced. Why will some parents be able to afford KITO? And all I can afford is a rubber sandal. I ask questions. So from a very tender age, I've been saying to myself, I will never be poor. Whatever it is, how it's going to be, I'm not going to steal. But as long as there's dignity in labor, I will do the labor and I will be dignified. So that has been the motivation behind all that we are doing today.
How did somebody, a boy that was wearing rubber sandals while his mates were wearing KITO, become a global award winner?
Thank you so very much for that. I never thought that it's going to be so soon. But every day I wake up, I see that I'm very, very close to my dream of being on that global stage. But I never knew that it's come so soon. So I was nominated among millions of people for sustainable business because of the dimension of events in the country some while ago and even up to now. Even businesses are scared. Everybody is worried. Being able to start a business, in fact, maintaining and sustaining a business is more difficult than starting it now. It takes a lot of courage to sustain a business now. So I never knew it's going to come so fast. So running a business, having it over the years, available, you're still being around, and all of that. So we were nominated among thousands of other businesses. And I'm happy that we're able to bring it home. Having observed all the other things we do to keep staff, to maintain them, to continue to ensure that business is running, services are still being rendered in the middle of crisis, in the middle of uncertainties, in the middle of business downtime and all of that. So that was how we were nominated, and by the grace of God, we were awarded for it in the midst of about 20 million people.
I understand that you started this whole thing with being a lesson teacher.
Oh yeah.
What course did you study in school that inspired you to become a lesson teacher?
Thank you for that question. I'm sure you know that few people want to be a lesson teacher.
Very few.
So it's by happenstance. I waited for admission for 5 years. From 2022, waited 2023, 2024, 2025, 2002. Finished university, finished secondary school in 2002. 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007. We waited for so long that we're almost giving up.
What is the cause of it?
Oh, the problem that we had then is still existing today. We call it carrying capacity. We call it, simply carrying capacity. Because I'm aware, I was with a professor a few days ago, and he was telling me University of Ilorin now that they only took about 50% of those that applied. Yes. So whether you like it or you don't like it, there are some brilliant students that scored well in JAM, did well in everything, and they will be forced to stay back home. I was a victim of such. And hearing this story after 20 years still gives me a lot of concerns. And I will speak to what we are doing to change that narrative. And I'm not going to give up to ensure that that narrative is changed. So we waited, and then when the admission came, Survivor started. University of Ilorin, I had to speak to friends, family. I started home lesson. I teach in Tanke, teach one family. When that started, we started 2 families, 3 families, 4 families. And at the time, it's becoming overwhelming. I can't take all of them anymore. So I spoke to my friend in the Department of Education and Management. You know, I told you I waited for 5 years. I wanted to be an accountant. I wanted to read accountancy. That was why I've been waiting. So for like 3 years, it didn't come at all. And the 4th year, they gave me physical net education.
You are going to be very...
When they gave me physical net education, I resumed. And they said we should run from the park to the stadium.
It must be nice.
That we should go around, and then when we come back, we should come back to the department. So as soon as I finished that journey, I knew that this course is not for me. I knew that this course is not for me. I said, I want to read accounting. I've waited for 4 years. So when they gave me this, I said, let me just try. And then I'm here. Where will I'm not preparing to be another Usain Bolt. I'm not prepared for this. So I allowed that year to go. I applied again, and they gave me the same course.
Wow.
So I had to walk up to the dean then and ask him, please, what other related course can I do? So they now moved me to educational management, which is now the course that I did in the university.
It's close to accounting.
It's close to accounting
now,
too.
When you went to the dean, did you go alone, or you went in the company of your parents or your guardian?
It was out of passion. I went alone. I said, whatever will be, will be. If he will send me out, let him send me out. I cannot do this course. And I cannot go back home because I don't know what else will happen. I don't know how many years I will have to wait again. So I had to plead with him. What can he do for me? So he looked at the whole thing and said, maybe management, the educational management will be fine for you. So I took it up.
Did you enjoy studying that course?
Oh, I must say that it was a divine arrangement because I got to the peak of whatever educational management can offer any human being.
Wow.
Yes. I remember when I was appointed the youngest registrar of a university in Nigeria, I feel fulfilled. I said, oh, wow, I'm happy. Registrar. Wow. Today I was also a registrar. That was about 2 or 3 years ago. I was the registrar of Atiba University. And at that Atiba University in Oyo. Yes. And at that time, I was the youngest registrar in Nigeria. Wow. As at that time. So
I'm so happy for you.
No, thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
How did the lesson teacher started the first this washer girl is the first what they call it laundromat, yes. Right? In Kwara State. Yes. How did the lesson teacher think of starting the first laundromat in Kwara State?
Thank you so very much. When we started the home lesson, if I will reconnect my story, it became so much that I can't take all the families again, but they are getting results. That's why they stick with me. But you know, it's a personal thing. You can't teach 20 families. You'll work out. So I decided to reach out, outsource. Some of my colleagues, can you teach for me? So those that agreed, I just tell them, okay, go do this. They give us 5,000. I take 1,000. I give 4,000.
You are the king of structure.
We develop that structure in this town that year that I had about 150 clients in this town. After paying all my teachers, I'll still have about 400,000 naira as far back as 2008, 2009. We have produced people that I am proud of. And one of them is the present Commissioner for Business and Innovative Technology in this town. That's Honorable Damlola Yusuf. She's one of those people that I'm proud of, that we are able to work with the Yusuf family. There are a lot of them. There are friends around them. We have Honorable Kadri. Most of those people in that square who attend Romix, then we handled everything about their lesson. So we deploy people there, we watch them. So that business grew. And when that started, I began to remember my story, that there are so many people who are disadvantaged because of this problem. And that problem is still there. So I started what they call Into University. I gathered them, I trained them, I counsel them. If you want to get into uni, don't be rigid about what you want to study. That's why the name Into University. Into University. So you need to understand how you can secure your slot in the university. Don't be rigid. I do all of that. I do the counseling. I will gather them at our Zarab office. I will gather them. I will tell them, bring all your results. I will check them. Which course do you apply for? No, don't do this. And then I've started having interactions with people in the University of Ilorin. I will have access to what they call, there's a document JAM normally released for us where they state the number of applicants for each program, for each course in the university. So when I have that document and people come, I will tell them, see, this year, 12,000 people apply for medicine in University of Ilorin. With this your result, they are going to rank it in such a way that they will just tell Excel to start from the highest. So, the first, if there are 12,000 applicants and the current capacity of the department is just 200, if you tell them to rank it, so this thing will start from the very first. Maybe people that have 370. Before you even get, by the time the 200 is filled up, maybe they just reach those that have 300 points in JAM. So you that you have 270, you tried, but your chances are slim. So I do all those counseling for them, and it was working. Some of them will just apply for a course strategically, and they will give them. Said, just go and finish well. So we started doing that. We started counseling all of them. I know we did for about 250 students every year for like 5 years consecutively. And up to now, we still do the counseling because the problem is even now getting bigger every day. So we did that into university. We started getting the tractions and all of that. So it got to a point that people now started noticing us outside the shores of Nigeria. So they started reaching out to Into University. I'm coming to Washagal and I'll get there. Everything is linked. So when they now start reaching out to us, that, we see that you gather a lot of students and all of that. Can you send students to our country, our university? Yeah. And that was how the international door opened that year. That was in 2017. They started reaching out to us, so we started recruiting for international universities. That was the first international doors that we have. So in the middle of that, I got a client who, he's just passionate about that journey. And then he said, I would like to take on this journey. So when I did that for him, I don't know that he's a professional laundromat. So when he finished and we got all his visa and everything, he said, it's time to go. He said, sir, I have a business. What business is that? I said, it's Washer Girls. And it's my baby. It's my days. I really want someone who will be able to sustain this legacy. I said, maybe the person though. All this washer at my hands. But it comes back to me every time. Then I now called him one day and I sat down. And I see the pain of an entrepreneur who has given back, who has labored and gave birth to a baby. And is going on a journey and is worried. Who do I give
My
this
baby
baby
with.
with. So after a lot of back and forth, and I promised him, don't worry, I'll take over this business and I'll make sure that I don't disappoint you. And then we took it to the next level. Then we'll rebrand, we'll do a lot of other things, then we'll sustain that. That's how
You are doing a
Ocean
great
Girl
job.
came. Thank you so
You
very
seem
much.
like a very busy person.
Oh, yes.
How is it like managing these chains of businesses that you have created over the years? How do you manage that?
Well, my nomination for the Sustainable Business of the Year award is not a coincidence. It is not. Among many other contestants, they said to me that they observed how much entrepreneurs run away from challenges because entrepreneurship is war. For you that you are listening to me and you want to go into one, entrepreneurship is good, is rewarding, but I can tell you, you need to be mentally prepared for the challenges that come. Challenges, I've taken them as breakfast. I've taken challenges as breakfast because they're not something that we need to, as an entrepreneur, you need to be worrying about all the time. It's not. So I get motivated. Remember, I told you that the old story started when I would be asking that, why should some people
Wearing KITO.
be wearing KITO and some of us are wearing rubber sandals? So I discovered that we need to do everything to keep people at work. One of the greatest empowerment we can do is to engage people and put food on their table. I think more about my staff. I think more about the value chains that hovers around them because I keep them in the job. I give them an opportunity to develop, to earn a living. You see, those two motivations, they keep me going. That even when I'm discouraged, I want to look back. I look back to those that are looking up to me to say, what do I tell these people? How will I stand as a leader to share the failure story, to say, we're sorry, we're shutting down. We're sorry, we can't continue this. I think more about that than any other thing. Because I know that when I get fired up and I get encouraged, I'll be able to do more. And when I do more, they are more happier. Look at the number of unemployment in the country. It's alarming. So this is not even a time to tell people to go home or to make them hopeless. It's not a time. If you're not going to employ more, then we should do our best to keep those that are on our payroll.
Starting your business in Kwara State, Lauren to be precise, there's this popular saying that starting business in Ilorin is hard. At the end of the day, people end up giving up and moving away from the business or move away the business away from Ilorin to either Lagos or Abuja because they believe Ilorin people do not spend money. Is that true?
Well, me that I'm talking to you today, I can tell you that notion is not true. Because I have people that have come before me. I'm someone that value mentorship a lot. People that I look up to, not by mistake, not by happenstance, they all have their root in Ilorin.
Wow.
And from Ilorin, they have gone to different parts of the world. So sometimes I feel so attached that I'm proud of the fact that I could start here. There's no business that should start big. So if they say Ilorin is small, Ilorin is not easy, where else are you supposed to learn your lessons? If you don't want to mess up on the bigger stage, you should come and get groomed. Understand it. Make your mistake in a small and a little cycle. Grow, develop, and then fly. We have taken this business to different parts of the world. From Ilorin, we have gone to different parts of the world from that lesson. So I don't want to believe that notion. I want to encourage anybody who is thinking you are in Ilorin and you are thinking of starting big and then you are being intimidated by what you see on social media and all of that. It doesn't start in one day. That guy doing well in Abuja, it didn't start just one day. You need to listen to his stories. Most of the lessons are in the story. They are not in the pictures. They're not in what you see. It's in the story. Try to listen to the story.
They
That's
all
what the
post
lesson.
their struggles.
Yes, that's correct.
We all post the results.
The results.
Fine pictures.
That's it. And then
As
people
someone
get.
that is into migration,
Yes.
what do you think of Japa?
Yeah.
What do you think of Japa?
Oh well.
Let me reshape. As someone that is into migration, what do you think of Japa?
You're putting me on the spotlight because that's a very, very creepy question. Well, thank you. Into migration is also when we started sending people abroad for studies. That one was when I transformed into migration, because when they go, then that 2017 was when international doors opened for. So I started traveling around the world. And when I go there, I also see employers that reach out to me. Oh, can you fill our vacancies? You are asking. So since 2014 that we started till now, we have moved more than 15,000 families to different parts of the globe. Studies, that's a lot, of course. Study routes, some on PR, some on studies, some on work, and different angles. What do I have to say about it? The world is changing. Things are evolving. The global market is shaking. There is nowhere, as I speak to you, that you can say, the moment I enter this place, everything is set. I'm not discouraged. If you're listening, if you're under the sound of my voice, don't say that because, you have traveled the world now. That is not. If I want to be sincere with you, I shouldn't be saying what I'm saying as an advocate of into-migration. But you are asking the question now, at this very critical moment. The right answer for you that I can give to our audience and our listeners is that there is a global economic crisis everywhere in the world now. The only difference between those countries we see and Africa is that some have prepared what stands as a shock absorber for them. While in our own country here, we don't have that shock.
We are the shock absorber.
We are the shock. We are the shock absorber ourselves.
Yes.
So we get to be hit directly on the head for this global crisis. In fact, some people blame it on Mr. President, some blame it on politics. That is just excuses. See, there is global crisis. As a global figure in travels, I can tell you, most countries are shutting their doors because they also want to maintain what they have to preserve for those who are inside. So what is my take on this? Africa will need to take it back. For everybody that cares to know, I've been telling them, even if you have a reason to travel, don't call it Japa. Japa is a word that you are leaving and you are not returning. At this event that will just conclude the Global Entrepreneurship Festival, I met with a lot of friends who have been in business in Britain for 40 years, 45 years. And I challenged them. You've been in business globally for 45 years. Why Nigeria? Why do you now want to start doing? And they said to me, Africa is the future. And they want to start putting their feet in there now. So that by the time the spotlight is on us, they will not be strangers. That word hits me like thunder. So there is no crime if we travel the world. There is no crime if we see how things are done in those global spaces. Of course, Britain is 2,000 years more than us. We're just 60 years old. 60 years old. Britain is 2,000 years. US is 2,000. These countries have gone through what we are going through now. They have overcome all those challenges. So they are developed. But we are still developing. So we need to have the right mindset of that. Japa is not the right thing to do. We can travel, go study, learn, observe, get empowered, understand it, come back to our continent and use it to do something. I've been traveling around the world. I have 1 million chances never to come back. But there is one washer girl in Ilorin. That washer girl must go, be in different states, be in different countries in Africa. We take the center stage. We go, we send our staff there. They go learn. They see sophisticated machines in China, in the US. They see how best we can treat our clothes, our fabrics, and they come back to Nigeria and we teach in an entrepreneurship course and all of that. So that we are also going to contribute to the future that we're looking at.
Thank you very much. I don't want this interview to finish.
Same here. Because it is a while I had reasons to pour out like this publicly.
Can you tell me a little about Future Wave?
Oh, okay. Thank you. So, Future Wave Technologies is a company that we established to use technology to solve a lot of problems. While traveling around the world, I see that internet is a leverage. It's a leveler. It's a leveler. The rich, the poor, everybody, we have something in common. So one of the easiest way we can change people's life is to see how we can use technology to drive certain things. So we set up some team, and I ensure that they are indigenous team. We don't have any foreigner in our team. All of them are indigenous Nigerians. So we look at problems, we build a solution, we build an app solution to it. We don't charge anybody, we just look at a problem and we ask ourselves, why should this be? Can't this fly? So we leave our hands on a lot of projects, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag now, but I'll still see it as an opportunity to say that we are going to use technology to solve housing problem in Africa. And the project is 90% complete. We're going to be launching it very soon. Last week, we did a test running of it, and the feedback was amazing. So we have teams that were using tech to solve food logistics problem. We're going to be coming out to them. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. So that's what Future Waves does. And they're indigenous people. And then we have 18 projects, and we have been on them. We're unveiling them one after the other.
How does your family cope with?
That's a big question. That's a busy question. That's a very serious question. Well, one of the greatest gifts that I have is the gift of marrying the right person. Yeah, I married the right person who understands my drive, my passion, what she understands what drives me. She knows I don't really like. Imagine people dying, a whole life gone because you can't afford an anti-malaria drug of 10,000. A whole life, a whole future president, a whole future employer of labor, someone that could have had a glorious future. But circumstances. So when I think about ideas, I run after them because I know that this thing that I'm running after will solve some problems that I would not even know about. So when I'm in that mood, she understands. She just allows me. But if I'm spending 3 days, 4 days with them, I ensure that it is for them. I spend quality time with them. Whenever I am with them, I make them know that this is your time. And I try to give them all the best I could. But I'm using this medium to do a shout out to them. You guys are really, really the one that is encouraging me. So if you can see this video, I appreciate you, my wife, and I appreciate you, my children, for the support that you're giving me.
Thank you. So there are young ones like us,
yes,
that are looking up to people like you. I will see Washer Girl. This person is doing an amazing job. And after listening to everything that you have said, I'm really pumped. Like, wow, somebody is doing this. I want to be like that too. But there are a lot of people that are intimidated by their current circumstance, maybe because they do not have enough money to, achieve the things that they are looking up to achieve, what advice do you have for them?
Thank you. I've been asked this question severally, and at a point, I had to put all of them in one box because everywhere I turn to, people like my story.
Your story is beautiful.
People were like, oh, really? You can do this and you can do that. I tell them, I said, if I engage you to tell you how many business I have, you start doubting me at the time. Are you sure this is real? So I created what we call Providence Point Consult. It's not a monetized service. It is a mentorship platform that I create for a closed cycle. Before you get in, I don't bring in aspirers.
Aspire.
I don't bring them in. I look in the eyes and see people that are truly struggling. Many young people, by nature, our attention span is very small. Very little. Today we are fired up about something. Tomorrow, the moment Tunde not post something, and then we read it, we are off the track. That attitude cannot take us anywhere. As a matter of fact, it makes us so unserious. We're so far from the reality. People that build things, they are intentional. Bishop Oyedepo is somebody I revere so much. He was to build a university, and he read 250 biographies of people that owns a university. I don't want to talk too much, but just a mental picture of how a man can become so disciplined to read the entire biography of how world universities started and begin to visit them one by one, ask questions before he can come up with his own. Tell me what you expect. You don't have that kind of discipline anymore. When you meet a young person, he will tell you that, if I have money, I'll have been able to do this. I have empowered people to tunes of millions. I don't see them again till today. So the problem is not 100% in the funding. The problem is that they themselves, they don't have social capital.
I actually believe that if you have enough money for your business, you won't have the drive to.
It's not even good because you will not be able to
Yes.
ascertain the real strength of your business.
Yes.
Look at what happened to Naira, for instance. For years, the government has been supporting Naira, patching it, then we are deceiving ourselves. Then when it was floated, we saw the real value of Naira. That's the same thing about business. Funding is not the first thing. What's your social capital? Who are you to people around you? Who can vouch for you? Who can patronize you among your friends, among your cycle? Who can say that, oh, you want to do this, I don't have, but let me give you my shop because I know you are a good boy, because I know you are a disciplined boy. If that person, if you are not grown social capital to that level that somebody can trust you with those things, who will not trust you with money? Money is not the first thing. You need to grow your habits, yourself, your character. If you don't serve people, people will not serve you. If you don't know how to serve, you can't be a leader. And it's the first thing that somebody should consider. So I encourage them. You're a small person, you want to start business, you can reach out to Providence Point Consult on Instagram. We'll engage you. Look at if it's genuine. I have my team on ground. They'll take care of. If it is money, you will have money. We have people that can support us. We have people that can support your business. There's a lot of things that we can do, but not for people that are not intentional. Yes, not for people that are not intentional.
I honestly do not want this interview to end, but we have to go.
We need to.
I have been speaking with a very, very passionate Dr. Ibilade Joel Adesokan.
Thank you very
It
much.
is so nice meeting you.
Thank you so very much.
It is so nice hearing from you.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
really
I'm honored.
appreciate
Thank
you,
you.
and
Thank
I
you.
enjoyed
Thank you.
everything that you said.
Thank you so
And
very much.
I know that
Thank
my
you.
viewers will too. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.